Hi, you are looking at the Straker Nutrition Company done for you client check-in system. So you're probably interested in the system, and I'm going to give you a walkthrough of all the features and things that this tool does and why it is the best tool on the market at this price point and everything it allows you to do. So quick backstory, I built this for use with my own nutrition coaching clients over the last 3 years over multiple iterations. I have well over 200 hours built into this. And at the price point, which is less than one of your coaching clients will pay you for 1 month, you make your investment back immediately. And then you also always just get the benefit of the tool from there. New with this 2022 year, I also built a tutorial course that you get access to for free that goes along with everything, all of the features in the system that tells you exactly how to do everything. So we have currently, at the time of recording this, 17 different lessons in this tutorials course. And as I continue to build and release new features, which are always for free to all prior purchasers, I add tutorials and walkthroughs on exactly how to use this. So you will get a login for this course with your purchase. Moving over to here, the first thing you are going to want to do upon purchasing is make a copy. The reason being is because, let's call this Aaron demo copy. The reason being because I only send read-only access to the master. This is a master that we all share. This is what allows me to make updates to the system and release them for free to all previous purchasers. This is how you retain that free lifetime access for updates, which I release quite frequently. Since the first time I recorded this video, I released 8 updates in the last year, and all of the previous purchasers got them all for free. So let's cruise through here. Going to make my video a little bit smaller so we can see more of everything. So there are currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different sheets at the bottom. Each serves a different purpose. This first one just helps you collect some basic information around your client, and that spits out some basic approximate maintenance calories for a client. So you can use this based on to just give yourself a rough idea of what might be appropriate for maintenance calories for a given client. So I have a note here, the calculations are using the Mifflin-St. Jean equation for basal metabolic rate and the Harris-Benedict equation for total daily energy expenditure. If you come in here and modify these, you will see things will change. I'm sorry, I clicked the same one. Male, you'll see we get different things, and then you can also change your distribution of macros. Like let's say you wanted to go high protein, it will shift things around, but let's set that back to balance for now. This sheet is completely optional. If you don't want to use it, hide it. So you can do up here, hide sheet, perfect. Let's keep moving on. So this tracking sheet is the bread and butter of what you will use primarily with your client. Your client will be in here updating this frequently with their morning weigh-ins. The calories column is auto-calculated, as you can see here, so they can just put in their protein, carbohydrate, and fat, and it will auto-calculate calories. The one caveat there is if your client is drinking alcohol. This will not be accurate because any of your food tracking applications, MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, etc., do not appropriately quantify actual calories to a macronutrient, because technically alcohol is its own fourth pseudo macronutrient. You can also have the client check-in day here, and then a link to where your client check-in form is. There is a coach's configuration sheet where you can set up a lot of these things. So you can set the day of the week that you would like to use for each of your client to check in. Let's say this particular client, we want to check in on Wednesday. We modify that. We come back to our tracking sheet. It now says Wednesday. And on our weekly reports check-in data, it will give the client check-in day here as well. So if we can come in here, we can add the client name. Since I'm using the demo, I will do mine here. Let's use my real name. And then let's use an email address. So we can use like a, Cool. Coming back to the configuration sheet, you can see we have different sample check-in forms to use. So if you're an established coach and you already have a check-in form, you can use that. Or if you're brand new, you can use one that I created that will redirect you to make a copy of it. So you can make a copy, will do its thing. And now you have one, and I implore you to come in here, change my logo, swap out any questions you have, would like to use, would not like to use, but I would highly recommend keeping email as a unique identifier to distinguish between clients. Coming through here, we have different placeholder images for the check-in photo submission areas, which are on the weekly reports tab. So if you scroll down here, you can see we have Goku as a placeholder, and then as your client completes check-ins and uploads their own photos, their photos would replace these. If you are maybe not a fan of the Dragon Ball, you can change these. So let's say I wanted to come down to this blank. I can just hit this drop down and change it to blank. And now when I come back to weekly reports, they have all been updated. And in the event that you also do not like any of these, you can upload your own. I have 3 options for custom 1, custom 2, custom 3 with instructions of how you can upload your own front, side, and rear profiles or profile placeholder images, and then you would just select those under custom 1, custom 2, or custom 3. Lastly, in here you can set targets that you would like your client to hit for sleep, daily steps, and then we have a few custom metrics as well, which are defined over here. So for instance, if your client is currently in a calorie deficit, it may be very appropriate to track daily hunger, daily digestion, and daily stress levels. So if you change those and come back to the tracking sheet, you can see we have these columns for these tracking daily stress, hunger, and digestion. And then if we were to come over to the weekly reports, you can see that we will actually get average reporting on each of those customizable metrics, as well as sleep and an average daily steps. Also see that we report a 7-day average, auto-calculating the weigh-ins that your client had input on the tracking sheet. So this will automatically give you their 7-day moving average of their weigh-ins, and then also their 7-day average of their macronutrients as well, and some more helpful data with the percentages as well. So there are 52 blocks built out for these check-ins, so you can run each client through this for 52 weeks, an entire year, directly out of the box. It is built for that. And then moving through, we have some more graphs and reporting, so you can just visualize some more changes for your client. So we have body weight here, calories, macronutrients, nightly sleep, daily steps, and then each of those 3 customizable targets: stress, hunger, and digestion. So let's say I came back to the coach's configuration sheet, and I'm not too concerned with like digestion right now because this client has like rock star digestion, and I'm more concerned about their energy levels because maybe they're super deep into a deficit or something like that. And then when we come back to reporting, it will now report us on the energy that they input on the tracking sheet. Lastly, or not lastly, moving along here, we have a macronutrient timing sheet. So this is just to help your client visualize how may be best appropriate to distribute their calories and macronutrients throughout the day. This is also customizable. So depending on a client's preferred meal frequency, we can go from 4 to 6 meals per day on training day, and then I have it configured from 3 to 5 on rest days. And then if you would like your client to do any type of weighting for their peri-carb and peri-fat, to have maybe more carbohydrate around their workout window and less fat around that time for improving digestion or speed of digestion and gastric emptying rates, you can do that here. So these get automatically pulled from weekly reports, where you would set your client's macros at the top so that you're not setting them in multiple places. They just pull through, and then it will break things down. So approximately evenly, but with that weighting. So if we're training in the morning, we're going to have heavier carbohydrate weighted based on these weights selected up here. So we have an option for morning training, afternoon training, evening training, and then second to last, we have a photo comparison tool. So if you wanted to compare like a day 1 photo with a client starting to the current week, it's always nice to have them right front and center here instead of scrolling back and forth in the weekly reports tab. So this is a helpful little feature here as well. Then lastly, we have a historical, what's the best word to describe this? Drop or dump, I guess I could say, of all prior form submissions from a client. So if you have a Google form submission, or really any form submission that you can get a spreadsheet out of. Here is my test one here. What you would do is come in here and grab the URL of your own form. This could be many. The only thing that needs to be is email address needs to be in column 2. And then you would come over to your copy, and then in this import range function here, you would replace my paste spreadsheet URL brackets with your actual form. And then it's going to load, pull in all of the fields of your form, and then every submission from a client whose email matches this up in this top left-hand A1 cell, which I have set to weekly reports B2, which if you remember me, I added that in here. So that is an overview of all the features in the 8 different sheets that come together to make this a complete system, along with the form submission you can use, and really just everything that this powerful system does for your coaching business and for keeping objective data in front of you for your clients. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram at Aaron_Straker or email me at Aaron@StrakerNutritionCo.com. Thanks.